Okay, so welcome back, and now we're going to continue on with the transformations, and we're going to discuss horizontal transformations. So this is going to be a shift. So this is going to be a horizontal shift, either to the right or to the left. Okay, now the thing to keep in mind is when we're talking about horizontal shifts, we're talking about adding or subtracting by some constant, or adding or subtracting a constant inside the function. That means we're talking about manipulating the x value, okay? Now, in the other case where we're talking about a vertical shift, we're talking about manipulating y. So adding or subtracting a constant from the y value. So that was from the function. So we're outside the function. So if you're outside the function, you're affecting y's. Okay, if you're inside the function, you're affecting the x values. So with the horizontal shift in the x direction, either right or left, you're going to be inside the function. Okay, so for example, here's our 2 to the x function again. Now this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, but I'm going to add inside the function. So I'm going to have my g of x, and so g of x is going to be what? It's going to be 2 to the x plus 3. Okay, so now I'm adding 3 to the x value. So I'm inside the exponential function. Okay, so now how does that affect my graph? Well, think about it this way. I know when x is 0, y is going to be 1. Now the question is when will my function be 1 for g of x? Well, now in this case my function will not equal 1 until until this whole thing equals 0. Well, that won't happen until x equals -3. Okay? So that's not going to happen until x is -3. So that means that this graph g of x will equal 1 when x is -3. What happened? Well, effectively, what happened? This point got moved over 1, 2, 3 units to the left. So that means one of my points is going to be here. And then what happens here? Well, when is my graph going to be, when is g of x going to be a half? Well, that's not going to happen until what? X is -4. Because when x is -4, I get 2 to the -1, which will give me a half. So that means at 4, it'll be 1/2. Okay. And then, of course, you might be able to guess where this point moves. Well, it's going to move to the left 3 spots as well. So 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be at 2 here. Now, in this case, since we're moving left and right, for horizontal shifts, it's not going to affect the horizontal asymptote. The horizontal asymptote is not moving. Okay? So now, what happens? Well, now this becomes what? It's going to be like this. Okay? So basically it took f of x and shifted it to the left. So if you add a constant on the inside of the function, you're effectively shifting the graph to the left. Okay, now let's take another function. And I will subtract 3. Well, what do you think is going to happen now? It's going to move 3 units to the right. Okay, so again, at 0, for the basic function, when x is 0, obviously I'm going to get 1. But here, now, when is this exponent going to be 0? When am I going to get 1? Well, when x is 3 now. So that means I'm moving to the right 3 units. So that means my points are going to move here. And then this is going to move 3 units here. And then this point here is going to move 3 units to the right, which is going to be here. And then what happens? My graph looks like this. And so this is my g of x and my h of x. Okay, so the takeaway is that when you add a constant inside the function, it effectively moves it to the left. If you subtract inside the function by some constant, then it's going to effectively move the graph to the right. And so it's kind of opposite what we saw in the vertical shifting, right? If we added outside the function, it moved up. If we subtracted, it moved down, kind of intuitively. So this kind of works not in an intuitive manner, but it works when we look at the algebra, okay? So always remember, it's kind of opposite what you would think, right? So if you add inside the function, you're not moving right, you're moving to the left, okay? If you subtract a constant inside the function, you're moving to the right, not the left. And that's it. So, okay, so now, in this case, the domain and range for these shifts don't change, right? The domain and the range are the same. So in a horizontal shift, it doesn't change the horizontal asymptote, doesn't change the domain, and it doesn't change the range. Okay. Have a great day.